issue that you see around the place, whether it's a shopping trolley out of place, maybe some lawns not being mowed by the verge on the road, or indeed a pile of rubbish on one of the back roads in Tasmania. Snap Send Solve was the app that many of you seem to be using. I've downloaded it. I've had a look at it. Here's what Colleen had to say on the program.
It's called Snap Send Solve, and it's an app that's a national app, and it's fantastic.
Oh,
you don't have to deal with anyone.
You don't have to deal with anyone. Yep, you don't have to phone. You don't have to phone your local council and wait on hold for hours, or you don't have to phone whoever it is, the local water authority, about that leaky pipe. Julie Situ is the head of marketing for Snap Send Solve and joins you now. Good morning, Julie.
Good morning, David. How are you?
Good, Julie. I've got my app open here, and there's a little feed that it gives you, and some of the things that the people around my area, so I'm in Hobart, are reporting some of them are actually quite amusing. Somebody's smashed a watermelon at the car park at the Mount Nelson signal station, and sure enough, there's a photo of a watermelon. It's been smashed to pieces. They've snapped a photo, they've sent it to you, and it's been referred to the Hobart City Council to follow up. Tell us about this app.
Yeah, well, there you go. The app is fantastic. I mean, our job at Snap and Solve is to connect, people in the community who see issues to the problem solvers. So that would be councils, power authorities, water authorities. We've actually got over 850 of these solvers who are actively using our app across Australia and New Zealand. So the beauty of it is that it's a free app. You can use it across Australia and New Zealand, doesn't matter where you are, because what the app does is you take a photo, you tell it what the issue is, and we know exactly who to send it to. So have you managed to try it yet, David?
Look, I haven't actually reported anything yet, but I've really been quite entertained by it. It's mostly sort of there's a fallen tree on the hill track off the Hobart Rivulet. There's some rubbish. Someone's left some rubbish by the side of the road in Kingborough. There's a dumped mattress in Kingborough, an abandoned trolley at the Coles. I can't see where that one is, but I mean, a lot of them are quite minor, and I have to say, a lot of them, including the smashed watermelon, it probably would have taken just as long to pick up the pieces of watermelon as it did to report the issue. It has sort of, it seems like a powerful tool for people who might sort of tend towards, I don't want to use the word busybody, but it seems like it's giving them superpowers here, Julie.
Yes, look, that's right. And what we're trying to do is, raise the visibility of these local issues so that people, in our councils and our other authorities can actually go out and see them and address them. And we actually just made that update late last year where you can see snaps near you. So I'm glad that you're enjoying it because what we want to do is make sure that people are aware of the issues around them. So if you see something, you might not even have to report it because you can see that someone else has reported it. So I'm glad that you love that update just from December.
And so I suppose this is addressing what is a major barrier for many people when it comes to these sort of acts of civic virtue, which they are. I mean, it is really important. I don't wish to sort of disparage people for wanting to better their local area. It takes some of the friction out of, finding the number, or you basically just connect straight into that service.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And just last year, 1.5 million snaps were sent through our app. And I think that's an incredible feat. And I mean, for me personally, I use the app to report stuff like broken street lights when I'm walking around at night and I can see one of the lights aren't working. I take a photo of that and they can see exactly what's going on and fix that really quickly. The power companies are great at that. And also, I think when I'm walking around with my parents or like anyone who needs a bit of help walking around their area, it's really easy just to take a photo and send it to the council usually, who will kind of fix up the pavement. Say if a large tree, the roots have overgrown and lifted up the pavement, it's a major tripping hazard. And often, you just don't know about that until you're walking by that area. So, that's why I personally love the app. And so do, almost 1 million people across Australia and New Zealand.
Well, if you're just past St Ives outside Beaumaris, there is a beam scooter on its side. So, look, it's a great app. Look, we don't normally sort of, promote apps, but this one seems like a great one for people who just want to do a little bit of good in their local area. So really appreciate you joining us, Julie.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I noticed you were speaking about rubbish, yesterday and the day before, and actually our snappers have told us 89% of the time their rubbish is being picked up when they've reported it.
So it actually works.
Yeah, I think it actually works.
How do the local authorities who you report to feel about the service?
Look, people who work at local council, they just want to improve their communities. At the end of the day, that's why they're there. It might not always feel like it because, red tape, I'm sure you can imagine, local government. But what they do is they will get the report like any other report and they try their best to action it. So it's just a great app for people who are out and about. It would take way too long to find a phone number, as you say, and you can just kind of send it off and they'll know about it and they will do something about it because they care.
Well, look, I reckon this will be it's already right up the alley of a number of our listeners. I was surprised at the number of people who reached out about this. And it seems to be, a fire hose of local concerns being directed at local municipal authorities. So, hopefully it's doing something to improve our local areas. Thank you, Julie.
No worries. Thanks, David.
Julie Situ there, who's the head of marketing at Snap Send Solve, that app which I downloaded at the recommendation of you.